Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry, and today we are taking a look at another Power Rangers Lightning Collection 2-pack. This is Mighty Morphin Pink and Zeo Pink Ranger, aka the Catherine pack, as I like to call it. And I believe this is a GameStop exclusive, and I believe they still do have quantities of this on Pulse as well. But let's go ahead and get her on the table, or them on the table, and take a closer look. And here we have the 2-pack sitting here on the table. Now, as you can tell, I don't have it in the light box today, mostly because it's so big. I want to be able to get the whole box in the shot, so I'm still working on a new way of fixing that, getting some better lights and a bigger recording area, I guess, instead of that little light box. So I'm still working on it. Like, again, I said before in other videos, I'm still new at this. So here we got. So I'm trying to use this little backdrop piece from one of my light box pieces, just to kind of get some light reflecting, so it's not being distracted by all the artwork on the wall. But here you go, your standard 2-pack. You see all the accessories, or at least the majority of the accessories. I think it is all of the accessories that are inside. You got your Zeo Ranger 1 Pink, one Catherine head, an effect piece for her shield, it's down here in the corner, pairs of hands, the Zeo blaster, sword, arrow, power bow, the little white cat that Catherine turns into in Season 3 when she was still under Rita's spell, also known as PC, or Park Cat. Yes, if you watched Mighty Morphin back in the mid-90s, back when that early mid-90s, back when that episode aired, you know who did it. Who it was Aisha and Kimberly who named it when they found her in the park and took her to the animal shelter or veterinary office, I can't remember which, that Aisha was working at. You got another Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger figure, Blade Blaster, another Catherine head, which now makes a total of 3 current Catherine heads until Ninjetti, the second Ninjetti Pink, comes out. And of course an effect for her blaster, or one of the blasters. I want to say that's the same blast effect we've gotten with all the other Zeo blasters. So here's the packaging. Take a closer look at the artwork. We got our front facing Zeo Ranger Pink on the, well, if you're looking at it, it's your left. You got Kimberly, or actually not Kimberly, you got Catherine's Mighty Morphin Pink on this side, on your right. Goes all the way around the flap there. It says Mighty Morphin on this end. It says Power Ranger Zeo above the Zeo picture. And then you got your render on the back with all 3 versions of Catherine. And yes, I say 3 because I am counting the cat. You got your attention, danger small, danger for, I guess, small pieces, but it's all in a different language. So you got all this stuff here at the corner, Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Got all the our legalese stuff here at the bottom, the PU, of course the top, which is one solid color. Normally it's 2 different ones, one for one side, but since it is all the same color Ranger, that's why it's all one solid one, even though this side is a little darker than that side for some odd reason. I don't know, can you tell that on camera? I can't. Tell it on the back that that's darker than that. I can see that here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get them out of the packaging and take a closer look. Alright, and here we have both the figures out of the packaging. As you can see, we have our Zeo Ranger 1 Pink right here, and our, at this point, my 4th? No, my 3rd Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger figure that I've gotten so far. Which, I'm already going to tell you, just by looking at her, she's better than my original release that I picked up from Wave 2. My original one, I will bring her out for a comparison later. You'll see what I'm talking about here. The back diamonds were kind of painted awful. It was like a slight fade, like it wasn't painted solid, correctly originally on that figure. But, it happens. Stand, please. And of course, we got our final figure for Power Rangers, Zeo. But the only duplicates we got for Zeo was gold, and that's only if you were able to get that 2-pack with the Mighty Morphin Armored Red from, I think it was a Comic-Con exclusive, I believe. But we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at Pink, Mighty Morphin Pink first. And we'll go ahead and look at some of the deco. Like I was saying, you got your beautifully crisp painted Harlequin diamonds on the front. The helmet looks really nice, and I believe this is the new version that they use for the metallics, but I could be wrong. I will do a comparison. We'll take a look at that. But the helmet looks nice and clean. Wish the visor was a little bit glossier, but other than that, it's fine. The silver looks really nicely done on the helmet. Overall, I don't have any complaints about the paintwork on the helmet. The neck looks nice and clean. So do the diamonds on the chest and back, which is nice. So this might replace my current Pink Ranger on the shelf for my Mighty Morphin display once I figure out how I'm going to redo that. The diamonds on the gloves are really nicely painted. And of course, this is actually white plastic, the whole glove part. So this little bit here where the elbow is at is painted pink, and it matches pretty well. The belt, the Morpher's painted really nice. You can barely see what the power coin looks like. I know it's really hard to get a very accurate, design on theirs, but they tried. So I can't tell if that's supposed to be a pterodactyl or a crane. So I guess you can just use your imagination, pretend it's whatever you want. Now the painted line on the skirt looks nice and crisp. I don't have very much, except for that little tiny bit of white, but I can forgive that. That's, it happens. The belt's nicely done too. The holster, and you can tell it's actually done, it's all part of the same plastic piece, so holster's all part of the same thing, which you could tell was all just painted white. You look down in the holster there. Yeah. And the boots, paint on the boots, again, very nicely done. Have a little bit of a scuffy mark here, a scuff mark right here on the diamond, little corner. But other than that, it's really clear, and that's not really a spot you're going to see too often unless you display her like that. Go ahead and go through some articulation. I will start with the head as usual. She's on a ball joint with a hinge, which you can look a little bit up. It's a decent amount. Go pretty decently down. Of course, you go left and right or all the way around. Of course, you got your arms, you got your butterfly joints here at the shoulders. Back, which is all done in nice white plastic, so it doesn't break up with the diamonds at all, which is nice. You got your peg and hinge here at the shoulders, which go outward pretty good, and of course all the way around, up and down. You got your single joint at the elbow with a swivel at the elbow, and of course you got your wrist, which is because of it being swappable, just a little peg that you can just turn around, and it does have hinges at the wrist, same horizontal hinge opposed to vertical hinges. You have your diaphragm cut here, a nice, I want to say it's a ball, but it's a nice swivel, probably a barbell. I could be wrong. I've never taken these apart, so I could be wrong. I have no idea. You got a nice ab crunch, which you go pretty far back, and the skirt kind of hinders her from going too far forward, but it's decent enough. Now you do have, the skirt is a little bit pliable, but I think it's a bit more rigid than the original one, but I could be wrong. It does have slits in the side for movement. So you got your ball pegs here. So you can move the leg out at the hips, forward. That doesn't really go back at all. Get your thigh cut like so. You got double jointed knees, and you can go, again, knees are always tight, so you go about that far back with the knees. And you got your boot cuts, really tight on this one, and of course your hinge at the ankle. Again, always at least one ankle on these figures are really loose. This one's not too bad. And you also got your rocker side to side. And you know, we'll go ahead and take a look at her accessories. So first things first, let's look at her civilian head. This is the one that was on the side of hers. This was on the side of the Mighty Morphin, so you can switch whatever one you want. You got this nice, lovely. You have this nice, lovely painted. It looks a close likeness to Catherine Sutherland. I hope I said her name right. I seem to be mispronouncing a bunch of stuff today. But it's got some highlights in the hair to kind of break it up to make it not look just flat. I don't know if I like that or not. But the eyes are nicely painted. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job on this one. So go ahead and pop that. And then you got it with their civilian head on. Put the helmet down there. Other accessories, we'll go ahead and she has one pair of extra hands because she has her open hand or gripping hand already attached. But you get one fist for her left hand within her horizontal hinge, and one karate chop hand. Next accessory is her trusty blade blaster in gun mode. Again, this is the only one we get for the figure. It's highly unlikely that we ever get any other versions. I think we only got one bladed version and only like one holster version so far of this gun, which is sad because you'd think at least give me the holster version too, so it actually look right in the belt. But you know, we got that. Her blade blaster, and of course that goes. Her blade blaster, of course, it goes right in her holster, like so. I mean, if you don't mind that look, I mean, good on you, I guess. This arm does not want to go. There we go. And to round out her accessories, we have her power bow and arrow. Now, unfortunately, there's no effects pieces, unfortunately, there's no effect pieces for the Mighty Morphin Pink's weapons. No energy arrow like we got with the original release of the figure, which is, I mean, if you already got the main version, you can just, swap it out. You're not going to use two different Mighty Morphin Pinks at the same time, are you? I mean, I might, but that's me. But we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the other figure in the box. Moving on, now we have Zeo Ranger 1 Pink. And per usual, we'll go ahead and take a look at her deco. She's got some very nice gold paint done on her for her little details around on her neck and chest. Now, one thing that I do gripe about with most of the Zeo Rangers, I think only one's gotten it correct, maybe two, technically maybe three, because Gold obviously had gold around his. All the rest of the Rangers are supposed to have white around their visors. Blue, green, now pink, and I can't remember if yellow is like this or not, all have silver around. Red, so far as I can remember, is the only one that has white painted around the visor opposed to silver, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be white, not silver. But I can look past that. I mean, for the most part, we're looking at the sculpt here. I think this could have been a bit more rounder. Maybe just the angle I'm looking at. I think they could have done a little bit better on the helmet design. There's something that seems off to me about it. Maybe it's because I haven't seen the Zeo helmets in forever, but I could be wrong. The belt is a nice gold paint. Again, the holsters are part of the skirt. So these aren't, unlike the Mighty Morphin one, these do not move at all. So these are permanently affixed to the side of the skirt. So we'll be moving that around. Deco on the gloves, nicely clean paint. There is a little bit of an extra line up here. Of course, you see some pink down there too, because they also had to paint this part pink. But a little bit of gold did make it. There you go. You can see it now. A little bit of gold did make it around on the actual arm itself. Again, some of these things are hard to paint. You got your gold around the wrist too, so that works. Around the skirt, the lines are pretty clean. On the belt and on the boots, nicely done around the boots. But this is like one of the only few figures, might be the only one, I could be wrong, that has black soles already painted on the feet. Now, Hasbro, if you could have done this before, if you could do it now, what would kept you all from doing it before? Why is this figure, out of any other figure, gets her actual soles to be black? It's the most accurate figure by paint scheme so far that I can think of. Actually has black painted soles. I shouldn't make a big deal about that, but that's insane. It kind of changes the whole look almost for the figure, you know, just kind of makes her stick out if you're literally looking at her feet. Obviously, if you're looking like this, you never see it. And you barely tell at this angle that they even are black, unless you got it on the side, a bit more prominent because of the heel, as you can see. But yeah, the paintwork though is really nice. Really nicely done. And we'll go ahead and look at the articulation on her. Again, per usual, your head is on a ball socket with a hinge, which unfortunately this is as far up as you're going to get with this because of how the helmet is designed, and you're not getting very far down with that hinge as well. You got your butterfly joints here at the shoulders, which are really nice. I love that they cut that perfectly around here, so that really works well for these butterfly hinges. You got your peg here, the shoulders with the hinge, which again are really tight. I got it loosened up now. There we go. So it moves out, back in, and around and around. You got your single jointed elbow, again, with a swivel at the elbow. And of course, you got your wrist articulation with, again, vertical hinge, and again with horizontal hinge, again with horizontal hinge. And of course, you got your diaphragm cut here at the waist. You got your ab crunch, which on her, there we go. Got your ab crunch, which took me a little while because she was really tight and hard to get to bend there. You got your, now with this one, because of how the skirt is designed with that extra chunk here because of the holsters, you're not going to get your legs out all that far. So this is about as far as you're going to get the splits for Zeo Ranger Pink. You got your thigh cut here. You got your double jointed knees. And that's about as far back as you're going to get. And you got your boot cuts. And of course your ankle tilt and ankle rocker per usual. Now taking a look at her accessories, take a look at the second Catherine head. She's got a ponytail with a scrunchie. It's about the same kind of highlights on her head and her hair. Again, very nicely painted. There's a, I don't know if it's just me, where the eyebrows look like they might be slightly, it could just be the white highlights they try to add it on it. But the eyes are nicely painted. I mean, again, it's another nicely painted, it's another very nicely painted civilian head. Again, looks really close to the actress from way back when. Go ahead, and here we got her with her second civilian head. that came in the 2-pack. And again, like I said, I've seen her with this hairstyle on both Mighty Morphin and Zeo, so you can switch it back and forth however you want. So we're going to take a look at her accessories. The thing that irks me, though, is that we get 2 exact same pairs of hands. Because the gloves never changed between Zeo and Mighty Morphin, like the actual glove parts. So we have another left fist with a horizontal hinge. And we have another karate chop, karate pose hand. Another one. So yes, and just to prove it, they are the exact same hands. We have 2 of these, 2 sets, 2 pairs. So don't get too scared about, accidentally mixing them up, because they are the exact same hands. Other accessories for Zeo Ranger 1 Pink is, we got her trusty Zeo Saber, I think it's called. I could be wrong. I don't know what they call these. Again, not in retractable form. It's always in its full form, which is a little... It's kind of aggravating that we don't have one just holster version of this sword, which means we're going to be putting it in her holster the wrong way, which is this is how they want you to put it in. Down here like this. And I don't like doing that. Half the time I just have them holding it. And of course we have her Zeo Blaster. And it's like the other ones. And this one's got a little bit of sloppy paint. There's a little bit of sloppiness in the back there. Some sloppiness here as well. At least on that side. The other side looks nice and clean. But again, the red's the messiest part of that blaster. And of course it has its signature gun effect that we've gotten with the other 3 out of the main 5 Rangers. I think blue was the only one that did not come with this effect, which is this nice blaster effect. Now this is a green one. I think Zeo Ranger 4 Green, Adam, had his effect, same effect as well. And of course this gun goes right into this holster here. So again, these are really tight trying to get in here right. Always feel like they stick out just a little too far. And the next and her last weapon is her power weapon, which is her Zeo Shield or disc or whatever. Now this is an interesting toy. This is an interesting accessory because of the fact how it's used. Now you have 2 ways to use it. You can have her hold it by this peg here, or you got a little hinge, or you can have it just attached to her wrist, like so. Kind of like the old He-Man figures from back in the day. So yeah, you can do that, or you can have her hold it the other way. And it also comes with one effect piece. Another effect piece. So Zeo Ranger 1 Pink gets 2 effect pieces, one for her blaster and one for her shield. And this is a brand new effect piece we have not seen before, and we probably won't see this kind of piece again unless, because this one's designed to go right into this little slot, one of these slots here on her shield. It's like she's blocking a blaster bolt or something like away from her. So you can set that up on her wrist, get the hinge right. You can make it look like she's blocking it, like so, which is pretty neat. I need to get her to stand again. So yeah, you can do that. Right? Neat little effect. Yep, and it does easily come off. So you might have to work it a bit to get it back off of her hand. There we go. Pull off her hand. And again, I don't really go over this, but this is what the pegs look like for the hands. Because I very rarely pull them out to change them, except for when I do my photos. And go put her helmet back in here too. But yeah, that's what we got for her. And of course, but that's pretty much. God damn. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for Zeo Ranger 1 Pink. And of course, the last accessory, but not, well. And of course, the last accessory, but not least, is the cat. Catherine's spying form, back when she was under Rita's spell in early of Season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, also known as PC, aka Park Cat. They got a glowing, I mean, they don't glow, but all it is a hunk of white plastic with painted neon green eyes. But yeah, so you got that. And she does not stand, oh, there we go, I got her stand there. But her legs are a little kind of close in, so you can get her to stand a little bit. Certain directions, obviously, on this mat doesn't want to stand because of the curvature of that, so move out a little bit. But yeah, so she's a little finicky about standing, depending on how you want direction, have her in direction. So, and of course, the scale with the figures, if you couldn't tell in the box, about the size of a normal house cat compared to it. That's cool. So you can recreate some scenes with Aisha and Kimberly holding Catherine or PT, reenact scenes from that episode if you want, and then have her, magically, magic of imagination. You can have her just magically, oh, there you go. Now she's Catherine. I still wish someday we'll get civilian Rangers just in their, maybe one of their more iconic civilian outfits at some point that aren't Rangers, with other accessories, with the communicator molded on the wrist or something. I think that would be cool. I don't see that happening. I don't know, does anyone else in the Ranger community want to see that? Does anyone else in the Ranger community want to see civilian Ranger figures but me? Like Jason in his martial arts black pants with the martial arts shoes and the red headband and the red tank top. Is it just me? Tommy pretty much the exact same outfit, but with with the more kind of mullet look with the green bandana. I'm just rambling at this point because I have nothing in the booth. So here we got them all. All three figures. Alright, and here we have all three of our Catherines from the 2-pack or 3-pack, however you want to call it. The Catherine pack, the all-encompassing Catherine set. So you can have, your Zeo, you can have your Mighty Morphin, and again, depending on how you want, this, your Catherines to look with their civilian heads, you can swap them. If you want your Zeo Ranger Pink or Zeo Catherine with the longer hair, and you want your Mighty Morphin with the ponytail, which I actually think I think that's going to be my go-to when I have them displayed. I think it's good. This is probably going to be my go-to when I have them displayed with their civilian heads. Catherine with the scrunchy ponytail for Mighty Morphin Pink, and then those hair down for Zeo Pink. I mean, I think it's more accurate for the show, because I think I saw her more with her hair up in the ponytail in the show in Mighty Morphin than I did in Zeo. And just kicked over the cat. No! And now here's a comparison of our original Mighty Morphin release of Pink Ranger in Wave 2 compared to the Catherine 2-pack. Come on. So here we have a comparison of both the Mighty Morphin, both versions of Mighty Morphin Pink that we got, the normal versions of Mighty Morphin Pink that we've gotten with Wave 2 here in my left hand, and the 2-pack Catherine in my right. And you can already tell the helmets are quite a bit different. This is a better helmet. So this is probably the one that's going to be replacing her on the shelf. Also because the paint, as we'll go through. And as I was talking about, if you can tell on the back here, the original one, mine here, the paint's not fully done. It's kind of off there, kind of light on this end here, which was a bit of a bummer. But again, we have a better sculpted helmet in this version of the 2-pack compared to our Wave 2 release of her. Now, I don't think they're going to fix that. I mean, I have seen this figure back up for pre-order again for the Kimberly version, but I can't guarantee that they've changed anything, and I'm pretty sure they haven't. As you can tell, the helmet was a lot sloppier in the paint compared to this one. But yeah, I think definitely the new one's going to replace this one on my shelf. Sorry, Kimberly. Even though you're not going to know the difference, I could still put the Kimberly head on this, and it'd be the same. And I probably will. Because I just forgot. Because the fact we don't have the energy bow piece, even though we do have an arrow, there's no way for her to hold the arrow in this one, because she does not have this hand for that particular action. So that's a kind of a misstep I think Hasbro did with releasing all these same accessories, but not having a way for her to hold her arrow correctly, unless you had the original version, or even the metallic version, or even the ugly shell-shaded version. But yeah, so you don't get this hand with the new one, unfortunately, but you can obviously swap it out, even though the whites are a bit different in the plastics. In the plastic. So it looks a little bit different. This one here looks a little bit more, I guess, a little yellower compared to this. Which I hope that's maybe just the light. It could just be how the light's hitting it. But it does look like not as bright white. But then again, I think this hand was actually painted a bit. But this is actually done in like an actual white plastic. I could be wrong. Probably just a different type of plastic for the original release in their hands. And also, before I take the Mighty Morphins out of the booth, we got one more for it to compare to. And that is our metallic Catherine with the other head. So right now, if I wanted 3 pink Catherines that were all Mighty Morphin, I have the civilian heads. I could put one on this one. I could put the other on the other one, which he is still currently on this one. But I can do that if I want it. And again, we look at the helmet. I'm not going to pull it off. But you see how this one was done. Because this was done totally different, where all the white had to be painted. Because this was actually cast in this sparkly pink purple plastic. But I want to say it's the exact, looks very close to the same mold they use. I think this one looks a little thinner, but that could just be how I'm looking at it. Actually, yeah, it might be thinner and longer. I don't know. You all tell me. Maybe it's just the kind of plastic it is and how the pearlescent white. Maybe it's just tricking my eyes. Which, you know, you can see her in the, even though I didn't do an actual review of this figure because I had her before I got the other metallics and before I started my channel. But, you know, same metallic, you know, same articulation. Everything looks similar. Even in the belt buckles. So yeah, I think they didn't try to make them different at all. So we got our Kimberly and our 2 Catherines with normal and metallic armor. However you want to go with that. As I was going through my collection, to pull out our figures, I found the other figure that had black souls besides Zeo Pink, and that was in Wave 1 with Tyler, our red Dino Charge Ranger. He's the only other figure that I've seen in my collection, unless their boots are already black, that has black souls. Because that's a cheat, because you don't have to paint them because they're already black. But these are the only ones we've gotten that have black souls. So that's something, at least thus far. As of Wave 11, which I just received in a few days ago, none of them have black soles on their shoes or on their boots. None of them have black soles on their boots, so I think it's safe to say that Tyler here and Zeo Pink are the only figures in Lightning Collection thus far that have painted accurate soles on their boots. If you want to do that, I mean, you're totally up to you if you want to paint your soles of your boots all black for all your Rangers. I'm not going to take the time to do that. That's a lot of feet. Sure, it's like a little bit of paint, but it's a lot of feet to paint. Now, I know this video has been a long time coming, and I didn't get a lot of photos taken from this, but I did finally want to get this out here. Finishing this up so late in the game. I think I recorded this thing about 2 to 3 months ago, and here it is now, September 5th, and I'm finally finishing this up. So yeah, I don't have a lot of photos done, haven't had time to, but I figured I'd get this up and finally out to the world. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some better ones out. It's not my best, but I'd like to thank everyone for sticking around for the channel and supporting, with subscribing and what few likes I get. It is very appreciative. I am very appreciative of it. But anyway, since now busy season's about over, I am going to be getting back into this. No August monthly haul video, but I hope you all can understand that. I mean, I did get a few things. If you would like to see that, I don't know how many people are actually going to watch the end of this video, but if anyone would like to see another haul video, please leave in the comments that you like to see another haul video, or like my other haul videos. If I get those videos up, some more likes, I might do another one. The last one got a bit more views than the one before it, which is appreciative. I'm trying a better way of doing these reviews, making them shorter, and this was a pretty long-winded one, and I'm still being long-winded because it's over 30 minutes already. But again, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, like to see me improve, please like and subscribe and share. And until next time, peace out.